Alright, and welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. In today's video, I am addressing the latest DJ LeMahieu rumors, and it's not really looking great right now for the New York Yankees. So obviously, as a Yankees fan, I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on this. I also want to say, full disclosure before the video starts, I am 100% pro Yankees, 100% pro DJ LeMahieu. No matter what I say in this video, I would love to see the two reunite again in 2021. Just as of right now, I don't know what the odds are looking like. DJ's asking for a lot money-wise, and the Yankees aren't necessarily ready to pay him $20 to $22 million for 5 seasons. Yeah, he wants that much. We'll get into it again in just a few moments. But if you guys are ready for this one, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's get into it. DJ LeMahieu rumors. From what I've been reading, DJ LeMahieu does not seem thrilled with the New York Yankees right now, and the standstill of a free agency it has been thus far. We know that the Yankees and DJ LeMahieu have been a great partnership these last 2 seasons, and both sides are interested to reunite in 2021, but right now the big problem is financially. The New York Yankees do not want to go all in on LeMahieu. He's asking for quite a bit. And rightfully so. He deserves to get a lot of money and a nice payday here in the 2020-2021 offseason. We saw just how great he did with the Yankees in 2019 and in 2020. This year, he was the batting champ. He hits for high contact all the time, occasional pop in the bat. He's going to bring in batters from the top third of your lineup. He's very versatile. First, second, and third base are potential positions for him defensively. Like, he is bringing a lot to the table. So yes, he should be getting a nice stack of cash this winter. But right now, from what it seems like, his asking price is quite high. It's been reported that DJ LeMahieu wants to surpass Josh Donaldson's 4-year, $92 million contract. And by LeMahieu standards, he wants 5 years and I think $110 million, which is an average annual value of $22 million per season. That is a lot of money. Now remember, DJ LeMahieu is 32 years old, so maybe age won't be a factor. Maybe it will these next 4 or 5 seasons, but that's a risk that the team is going to have to take when signing LeMahieu right now. And the Yankees are not for that. From what I've been reading, it looks like the Yankees are offering 4 years, $80 million. That's $20 million a season, but LeMahieu is really asking for that 5th-year deal, and I don't know if the Yankees are going to give him that. And honestly, for $110 million, I don't really know if it's worth it. I know. It's a bit contradicting here, Yankees fan not going after one of the best Yankees in these past 2 seasons this winter. But hear me out on this. I mean, I think if DJ LeMahieu is going to come at 5 years, $110 million, that's $22 million a season. The Yankees are already struggling with the luxury tax. And defense and offense isn't even their biggest struggle. Yes, granted, having LeMahieu's bat in the majority of games throughout 2019 and 2020 was huge. He was one of the only consistent hitters on the team, and he stayed healthy for the majority of his tenure with New York. Now, yes, the Yankees struggle with injuries. Judge, Stanton, some of their biggest hitters, they can never find consistency. So I get that that's a problem, and LeMahieu is very good at staying healthy for the most part, and he's going to hit well. He's going to play good defense for you. Again, first, second, and third base. That's huge for this New York Yankees team. But just $22 million a season sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. Right now, Cashman isn't quite sure that that is the best move. That's why no deal has been made. I do think there is a better alternative to DJ LeMahieu if we lose out on him. Looking at this Yankees team heading into 2021, your pitching staff looks very lackluster, very weak. Garrett Cole is your ace. That's a great number 1. But other than that, it gets a little shaky. Yes, Domingo Germán may be back, so that's a question mark. That's up in the air, and who knows how even good he's going to be for us if he does return. Then you have Jordan Montgomery, who was okay. He's not too bad. I like him in there, but more of like a 4 or 5 guy, not number 3 or 2 in the rotation if it comes to that. And Clark Schmidt, Davy Garcia, they may be used, they may not be used. I don't know how they're going to maneuver the young guys that they have on this roster. And then followed up with Julius Chastain, who was signed to a minor league contract. He may make it up to the major leagues and be like number 4 or 5 guy for us. That's another question mark. And the only thing that you really have to look forward to is Luis Severino's return from Tommy John in the middle of the year. But the first 80 games, give or take, he won't be there, so he's missing a handful of starts. And who knows what kind of version of Severino we will get from his return after having a major arm surgery. Right now, Garrett Cole is the only solidified ace, the only guy who's going to come in for us and we know will pitch every 5th day. Other than that, starting pitching looks weak, and not to mention the bullpen is not at its greatest. Yes, we still have Chad Green, Adam Ottavino, Zach Britton, and our oldest Chapman, but we lost Tommy Kahnle. We lost a few other big names that have gone long distance, have had a lot of innings for us eaten up over the past few seasons. Right now, it looks rough. The bullpen is better than the rotation, but that is our biggest concern. I do not think giving DJ LeMahieu $20 or $22 million for the next 5 seasons is currently worth it. I would love for him to come back, and I'm no longer at the point, though, of me saying, Yankees, Cashman, give him whatever it takes, because $22 million for 5 seasons when he's 32, going on 33 in 2021 is not worth it. He's been so good for us. If he can take the 4-year, $80 million, that's great. But other than that, I don't know if he should return to New York. And there are so many other options. If we can sign some pitchers, maybe bring back Masahiro Tanaka, add a Corey Kluber to the mix, J.A. Happ, James Paxton, even just bring them back so we have someone, I think that's the better route. And we can sign multiple decent starting pitchers instead of one big DJ LeMahieu. And even if we do bring back DJ, I think 2021 is going to be pretty much a waste because, again, if we don't have pitching, I don't think we have a chance at winning the World Series. So what's the point of paying LeMahieu $22 million for 2021 when we cannot win yet? Yes, granted, this is a business and players deserve to get paid, especially DJ LeMahieu. But right now, for the Yankees to go well over the luxury tax threshold and pay LeMahieu $22 million for 2021, and then for the next 4 years after that, if that is the route that they go, I think that's a lot. And if we look at the free agent class next year, there are a lot of really nice names, especially at shortstop. Francisco Lindor is a possibility, Trevor Story, Javi Baez, Carlos Correa, and Corey Seager. Not to mention that currently, Andrelton Simmons and Marcus Semien are shortstops on the market as of today. That's a plethora of talent at that shortstop position. If the Yankees will get one of them, move Gleyber Torres over to second, bingo, we now have a second baseman. Torres' defense should be better over there transitioning to second base. And you would have some great shortstops to choose from. Yes, you have to wait another year, but that gives the Yankees the time to kind of stack up and start adding on to their pitching staff, which I think is what they really, really need. Again, I need to make it clear, I am 100% pro-Yankees and DJ LeMahieu. I want them to come back together and reunite in 2021, and if it's a 4 or 5 year contract, that is great. Just right now, the Yankees aren't going to bid against themselves. They have said what they're going to offer, and LeMahieu has not contacted anyone else. He has not said yes or no to the Yankees. That's fine. He's taking his time and working the market. I get that. I understand that. Perfect, right? Do your thing. But I don't think the Yankees should say $80 million, 4 years. Oh, you know what? Before anyone else says it, 5 years, $100 million, because he could take that instantly, and maybe other teams weren't ready to give him that much or weren't necessarily going to make that deal as quickly as New York might have. Now, if we look at teams that are also heavily interested in DJ LeMahieu, you have the Los Angeles Dodgers, New York Mets, and Toronto Blue Jays. Those are 3 really big teams the Blue Jays are working for now. I mean, they're a quiet team, but they're doing a lot to get better silently. And I'm excited because Toronto is going to have an uprising very soon. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. New York, we already know what kind of winter they're having, for the Mets at least. We already know the winter that they have, Steve Cohen, everyone that's joining this team and how good they have looked recently. And then the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, that's always a big market team ready to go in, spend money, make trades, do whatever they have to do to win. Like, the Yankees really can't afford to lose LeMahieu to any of these teams, especially not in division to the Blue Jays. But maybe let him walk if it's $22 million 5 seasons. I don't know if I'm on board with that and if Cashman's on board with that and if Yankee fans really want that kind of deal moving forward. I'm really torn right now because, yes, I want our best player and most consistent player these past 2 seasons to return. I want LeMahieu back in pinstripes in 2021 and beyond. But I think money-wise, he's going to eat up a nice chunk of change. We're already paying Cole a lot per year. Stanton's getting a nice contract annually. It's a lot right now to commit to a 32-year-old DJ LeMahieu. Now, I'm not saying he's going to deteriorate and get worse and worse as the years go on into this new contract wherever he goes, but it's a possibility, and it's a risk that hasn't always necessarily worked for the Yankees. Again, I would not be against New York going out there and saying, you know what, let's get our pitching. Let's enhance our pitching a little bit this year, even if it's some small guys, or let's pick up a Semien or Simmons, even if it's just for one season. So we have someone to put at second base in Gleyber Torres, and then we have a good shortstop. I think our rotation should be what we're focusing on right now. DJ LeMahieu, of course, is still the Yankees' #1 priority. They want to make this work, but New York offering 4 years, $80 million, LeMahieu wanting 5 years and maybe 110. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I think at this point, it's going to come down to whether or not the Yankees will match a 5th year. If a strong suitor says, okay, 5 years, 110, like if the Blue Jays go 5 years, 110, and they are ready to throw in that extra season, we might have some trouble on our hands as Yankee fans. I'm really hoping this all pans out. I'm nervous. I think Cashman will make the right decision. If he gives LeMahieu the full contract that he wants, that's awesome. Hopefully it works out for us. If not, we've seen worse days. We've seen worse contracts. Like Ellsbury did not pan out well for us. But pitching at the end of the day needs to get better. And hopefully we do something. LeMahieu's contract, if we get him back, is going to throw us well over the threshold, so we might as well spend a few extra bucks here and there and get Tanaka back or something along those lines. It's interesting. This winter has been hectic, but guys are running out of time. It's already mid-January, which, by the way, is crazy in itself. But pitchers and catchers report like mid to late February, then spring training, then the season starts hopefully April 1st. So a lot going on. LeMahieu, I really hope he returns to New York. I'm scared he won't. I feel like as the days go on, the probability and the chances of him coming back get lower and lower. I'm for the Yankees. I'm for LeMahieu. I want them to return as partners this next season, but there are alternate routes to this. Getting pitching or getting a secondary shortstop to move Gleyber over to second for this next season is not a bad idea either. I don't think we can win in 2021 with the staff we have pitching wise. So something to take into account for. That's pretty much what I'm going to get for this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know, what do you think? Should the Yankees really pursue LeMahieu 5 years, 110, or should they walk away? I'm starting to convince myself that maybe he's not the right move for us here. It might not be a bad idea if we let him walk. We let him go somewhere else. It's going to kill us if he goes to the Mets or the Blue Jays, even the Dodgers. That would really hurt. But it might be the best move. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.